Ready for a deep dive into the world of lithography. Today, we're going deep, unearthing the secrets of this unique career path with insights from RoleCatcher, a really cool career development platform.
Yeah, lithography is fascinating. It's this blend of like really old school techniques and cutting edge technology.
Right, it's like the perfect mix of art and tech. So we're talking about the process behind those crisp images you see in books and magazines, right?
Exactly. It all starts with lithography, this printing process that uses a specially treated metal plate. Basically, it attracts ink in specific areas to recreate the image.
So it's like a dance between ink and metal, all choreographed to get that perfect print.
Yeah, you could say that.
Hmm.
And the way those plates are made is pretty incredible. Rollcatcher talks about lithographers using lasers, actual lasers, to etch designs onto these metal plates.
Lasers. Wow, didn't expect that. But they use designs from computers too, right?
Oh yeah, often super intricate ones. But it's not all high-tech. Rollcatcher also mentions something called emulsions.
Emulsions. Okay, now that sounds a little less futuristic. What are those?
It's like a special coating for the plates. They create the perfect printing surface. It's a blend of art and science, that's for sure.
I always pictured lithographers working alone, meticulously crafting these plates in some, like, quiet studio.
It's actually a lot more collaborative than you might think.
Really? So how so?
Well, lithographers work directly with graphic designers, printers, even quality control experts.
So it's a real team effort.
Totally. And speaking of teamwork, Rollcatcher mentioned computer-to-plate technology. It's really changing the game.
Computer to plate. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So remember those lasers? This technology uses software to directly etch designs onto the metal plates.
Oh, way faster and more precise.
Exactly. Although some argue it impacts the traditional craftsmanship of the field. It's a big debate right now.
Yeah, it's amazing how technology is changing everything. But I'm guessing even with computer to plate, becoming a lithographer still takes a lot of, hands-on experience.
Absolutely. Rollcatcher really highlighted that. They actually break it down into 3 stages. Entry level, intermediate, and then senior lithographer.
Okay, like leveling up in a video game. So tell me, what are those different levels like? What does a lithographer actually do at each stage?
Well, picture this. You're just starting out, fresh out of training, raring to go. You'd be an entry-level lithographer, probably assisting the more experienced lithographers, getting a feel for the process.
So really getting your hands dirty, making sure those prints turn out perfectly.
Yeah, it's all about mastering the basics.
Makes sense. Okay, so you've got the basics down. What's the next step? How do you level up, so to speak?
That's where you move into that intermediate stage. You're taking on more responsibility, maybe operating that computer-to-plate tech we talked about, even troubleshooting issues.
I bet that's where the real problem-solving skills come in.
Definitely. And then there are the masters, the senior lithographers.
So what's that like, the top level?
Well, at that point, you're not just a printer anymore. You're a mentor, you're leading projects, maybe even experimenting with new techniques, pushing the boundaries of the field.
Wow, that's really cool. So there's always something new to learn. And speaking of learning, I have to ask about RoleCatcher again. Their platform seems super helpful for anyone, thinking about a career in this field.
Totally. They have some really innovative features, especially for people just starting out. Their CV and resume builder is great. It helps you really showcase your skills in a way that employers will notice.
Oh, I've used those online resume builders before, and some are definitely better than others. What makes RoleCatchers different?
It seems like they really tailor it to specific industries. And get this, they even have interview prep resources.
Like what?
Like, they give you insights into what kind of questions employers might ask, almost like a cheat sheet for your interview.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like having a secret weapon for your job hunt. But we keep talking about all these amazing technologies. I'm curious, from everything we've learned about lithography, what's the biggest takeaway you think listeners should remember?
I think it's important to remember that lithography, it's not just a job. It's this really cool blend of art and technology requiring a lot of precision, creativity, and a willingness to keep learning as technology changes.
Yeah, and it's not just about knowing how to push buttons on a fancy machine. It's about understanding the whole process,
Yeah.
the art and science of it all. Who knows, maybe someone listening will even end up changing the game in lithography themselves someday. Speaking of changing the game, we've talked a lot about traditional printing, but with 3D printing getting more and more popular, do you think it could ever, replace lithography?
That's a really interesting question. 3D printing is definitely a technology to keep an eye on. Who knows what's next, right? Maybe we'll even have to do a whole deep dive on 3D printing and how it could affect lithography someday.
I'd listen to that. Well, this has been awesome. We've learned so much about the world of lithography, this cool mix of old and new. As always, we encourage you to keep learning and asking questions. Until next time.